With the recent Ballon d'Or controversy with Rodri winning the Ballon d'Or over Vinicius Jr., I thought let's have a look and see which championship players could be next after the likes of Messi, Benzema, Modric, Ronaldo. You've got Kaká and all players like that. But let's have a look through, see who could be next, and see who may or may not potentially make the next step to be the greatest player in the world. In at number 5, we have Christopher Rigg of Sunderland. So he made his league debut at the age of 16 in a 5-0 win against Southampton. And the South Tyneside-born midfielder played around half of his 21 appearances off the bench. The remaining half came when he kind of cemented himself into that starting 11, which from the outside in, as well as from Sunderland fans, a 16-year-old doing that was extremely impressive. The 24-25 season, arriving Riggs' involvement was extremely anticipated, especially with Lebreeze coming in, who embraced this youthful and attacking Sunderland team. In regards to him in his position, he moved from the right-hand side, moved more centrally, and has received huge plaudits for this, as well as his performances still being very good. Once again, he is just 17. He scored the absolute goal of the month, maybe a goal of the season contender with that backheel finish. And he's played 14 out of 15 games so far, with 7 of these being the full 90 minutes. Although Wonder Kids do kind of come and go, Rigg does look to be the real deal and is shining light in the championship. And for that reason, he's coming in at 5th for the player most likely from the championship to win the Ballon d'Or. At Norwich, there's always been a question mark on who's next. We had Houlihan replaced by Maddison, Maddison replaced by Buendia, Buendia replaced by Sarah, and now Sainz replacing Sarah. Sainz, the 23-year-old Spaniard, stepped up a huge amount and is currently sitting top goal scorer in the league with 11 goals and 2 assists in 15 games. He's currently outperforming his XG by over 5, which is majorly down to his ability to finish from range. Around 10 games in, he is averaging a conversion rate of 17% outside the area, which is ridiculous. His ability to beat a man and cut in on his right foot to precisely place into the top corner with such power is a real asset. He has now started getting interest with the likes of Galatasaray as well as Atletico Madrid, circling around the speculated £20 million interest. If he can carry that same form that he has shown for the first quarter or so of the season into the rest, he could be on the cusp of a big money move. For that reason, Borja Sainz comes in 4th in the Players of the Championship who may win the Ballon d'Or. We have Ben Doak. So making his debut for Celtic at the age of 16, he moved to Liverpool for £600,000. On the 9th of November 2022, he made his Liverpool debut. Since then, he has been held in high regards at Liverpool. He signed for Middlesbrough on loan this year and has been extremely impressive. As a Norwich City fan, we saw firsthand what he could do to Callum Doyle, who's already had a very good start of the season. And he completely kind of destroyed him on that wing. His fast-paced dribbling with his extremely direct approach is unmatched in the league. And it's actually nearly unmatched in the whole of world football. So having a look through the stats, the only players that actually beat the dribbles into the penalty box are Vinny Jr. and Barcola. That is kind of the standard that he is currently setting, which is ridiculous. He's essential to the way Middlesbrough are playing and could really be a huge factor for them getting promoted this year. He's obviously on loan from a Premier League club, but this does mean he's already got the platform to potentially impress at the highest level next year when he returns to Liverpool. For all of these reasons above, Doak comes in the 3rd most likely player to win the Ballon d'Or from the Championship. In 2nd, we have Wilfried Gnonto. So arguably the biggest name on the list. He has Premier League experience as well as only being 21. He's signing for Leeds in September 2022 and playing 24 games in the Premier League. That same year, he also made his Italian debut after being in their youth setup from a very early age. and he also broke a 66-year-old record to become their youngest ever goal scorer for Italy, and that was scoring against Germany, and has continued to feature in the Italian first team setup. He's settled back into life in the Championship after speculation on if he would be leaving the club last year, and some Premier League clubs or potentially Italian clubs were looking at possibly going back in for him. With 11 goal involvements last year and already on 7 this year, he is looking to exceed his returns from last season and to be a driving factor on why he's get back to the Premier League this year. He's the second most assists in the EFL with 5 currently, as well as 24 key passes so far this season. Overall, Nonto has a lot of potential, and it's easy to forget that this 21-year-old is just 21. With him getting a potential move if Leeds don't go up, as well as potentially getting a move if they do go up, and as well as having the international stage to show his ability and his potential, this has secured Notto second on the list of Championship players that may win the Ballon d'Or. So it will come as no surprise here that Joe Bellingham is top of the list. So this list is all to do with the unlocked potential and not who currently is actually the best player in the Championship. And Joe fits that quality very nicely. Made his debut at 16 for Birmingham, becoming Birmingham's second youngest ever debutant. And he went on to make over 20 appearances for the Blues in the summer of the 2023 season. He then also moved to Sunderland. August that year, he scored his first senior goal, and on November the 11th, he went on to score the opener against his former club, Birmingham. Naturally, with his name comes the hype, and he is currently living up to that in the Championship. With 7 goals and 1 assist last year, and currently 2 goals and 1 assist this year, he is looking to continue his impressive form, although currently he is serving a ban for a red card that he received. This has not gone unnoticed in regards to the potential in the form he's hitting, and it will come to no shock that one of the teams sniffing around him is Borussia Dortmund, and they're looking to sign the youngster to follow in his brother's footsteps. The rumoured fee is to be around 20 million, but the way Sunderland are recruiting and bringing through their academy may not actually be as big as miss as we first thought at the start of the year, which does seem a little bit mental to be saying, but the way that Sunderland have been kind of coached now, and the way that the youth are being brought through, then I think personally they're in very safe hands. And with all these factors that have kind of stated above, Joe has taken top spot as the most likely player to win the Ballon d'Or, who is currently playing in the Championship. Now we do have some honourable mentions. So the first one is Oscar Schwartau for Norwich. I had to get another Norwich player in there. So the 18-year-old Norwich youngster is currently starting for Norwich and is regarded as one of the best Danish youth prospects out there at the moment, and is highly regarded in Denmark as well as Norfolk. We then have Morgan Whittaker, who is another player who's been impressive form over the last few years, and he had 27 goal involvements last year. However, it is believed that a move for 23-year-old could be around the corner, and that may happen in January, or that may also happen in the summer. So that's another opportunity for him to show off his skills. We then have Mundell. So he's another Sunderland player to make it onto the list. He's come through the Tottenham Academy and has really found his feet with the manager who trusts the youth. Once again, I wouldn't be too surprised if Sunderland don't go up, if he maybe gets a move as someone taking a punt, but he's been in extremely good form and been very impressive this year. The last name on the list goes to Cogliosho from Burnley. So he signed from Espanyol. The 20-year-old Italian is highly thought of at Burnley. It's been one of the key outlets for them this year. Although his goal contributions haven't reflected that, I do genuinely believe he's got the talent to really kick on for the remainder of the year and be hugely influential. That is the list. That is the honourable mentions. What do you think? Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. And who would you add to the list? Make sure as well that you've subscribed down below, and make sure you're also liking the video, because that really does help the channel. But apart from that, I hope you have a good rest of your day and see you in the next video.